Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am actually so excited to have a wonderful lady on my channel. I think this is the second person this year that has been on my channel. So I would like her to introduce herself.
Okay. Oh, nervous. Okay, cool. Hi everyone, my name is Esther. I go by the name Esther Mukundgi, and I have a YouTube channel.
Yes, you do.
And I do a bit of everything. I do the whole beauty, lifestyle, and fashion. But yeah, I love to talk, so that's why Esther invited me here today.
That's cool. And it's funny because the way we met through a training session in 2016. And when she said her name, I said we must connect. Like right by force.
You're Esther's off.
Literally. Because I just said, listen, to have someone called Esther in my presence,
right?
I said, yeah,
we have to
grab that opportunity quickly.
And growing up, I never met anyone by the name of Esther. So as I'm getting old, I'm like, you're Esther. Wow, you're Esther. Yeah.
Well, we're queens, so
exactly.
But today I want to talk about a really deep topic, and I mentioned it to Esther already, and it's anxiety. And anxiety is something that, if not the majority of us, all of us go through at some point in our lives, whether we are teenagers, adults, elderly, you name it. Anxiety really brings down one's confidence. Anxiety promotes competition. Anxiety promotes negative thinking. And I'm speaking from a personal place, because even my first book, It's Time to Heal, was because of anxiety. I had to write that book to heal. And in our generation today, including social media, it's becoming such an increasing, intensity of anxiety. I think last week was mental health awareness, I believe. And, a lot of us are going through so much that we can't even bear it, because we're anxious to know what our tomorrow is going to be. We're anxious to know even how today is going to be. We're anxious to know what the next 5 years is going to look like. But I really want to encourage you, even when, as me and Esther speak very soon, it's a video to inspire you, to remind you that you don't have to allow anxiety to make you who you are. When things come your way, when the turbulences arise, how do you handle it? I always say to myself, when anxiety comes, I just step back from it. I sit down and I reflect, and I say, Esther, why are you feeling the way you feel? Is it going to change your situation? Yes or no? We all know the answer, it's no. But because we're human, we do it. And speaking from Philippians chapter 4 verses 6 to 7, it says that we should not be anxious about anything, but in everything with supplication and thanksgiving make your requests known to him, and his peace, that's and the peace that surpasses all understanding will guard your hearts and minds. His peace, not the world's peace, not social media's peace. It's God's peace that really surpasses all human understanding, and he will guard your heart and your mind. But where does anxiety come from? The mind. That's why your mind is the most powerfulest tool that you have. And I always say that every day when I wake up, my energy can affect someone else's energy. If I'm anxious, straight away someone can be anxious. If I'm happy, someone straight away can be happy. And I have to take responsibility for that. I can't always carry everyone's burdens, but I know that I have the responsibility to make sure that when people are around me, they don't feel the anxiety.
That energy, that's it.
I mean, is there anything that you could say about that as well?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. And I think for me, where I kind of struggle with when it comes to anxiety is I know that if I'm around people, energy is real, like you can feel it. And if your energy is low and you feel so anxious, people can feel it. So for me, what most people do, which is a big mistake, is they cuddle in and they keep themselves to themselves, and they choose not to leave the house. They choose not to do things, and then what that does is too much, and the next thing you know, depression is around the corner. So it's almost like, try and see it as a challenge that you can actually do. So if you're feeling really anxious, say to yourself that I can do it. I feel like, because I've had moments where I'm in town, like I feel very anxious, I'm like, oh, I can do it. I walk out the house and I'm walking, and I get into town and I'm around people and I panicked.
Wow.
And I've got on the bus and came back home.
Wow.
And as soon as I got home, I was just like, really, and it's it's just exercise. It takes time.
That's right.
You have to have a vision of the end goal.
That's right.
That's the thing. Don't think cloudly. Like, think of the end goal. Know that if you feel like, oh, today I'm supposed to be meeting up with my friends, I've cancelled on them because I can't do it.
Yes.
Think of the end goal. That you have a vision where you're around your friends, you're out, you're having a great time. Because if you don't, then what it does, and stop assuming that other people feel a certain way about you when they don't. Definitely. If they don't say it, it means they don't feel like that.
Of course not.
Like, anxiety is like a spider web.
It is.
Yeah.
And just to add on that, even when people, let's refer to it as a thing where someone may perceive you as a certain way. Even though people may perceive you as a certain way, you've still got your own battle to run. It. You still have to carry that cross. You still have to live life every day. No matter what someone thinks about you, don't allow that to make you anxious. Don't allow, the opinions of others to make you feel like you need to question yourself.
Yeah.
Questioning yourself is very dangerous. Maybe this is how I am. Okay, well, this girl said to me, I talk too much, or, this guy said to me that, maybe I'm a bit too rude, or
especially when you're questioning yourself and when you're in a dark space.
Of course, that's why it's very important to not be alone.
Yeah,
you have to have the right community.
That's it.
And I'm not saying that you have to invite everybody people, because it's not everyone that can be in your life. And I'm going to really re-emphasize this again. It's really not everyone that's meant to be in your life. There are some people that really they can't help.
Yeah,
because if they are broken and you are broken, I don't know who's going to help who. The blind can't lead the blind.
Exactly.
So as I'm going to re-emphasize, not everyone you can help, and that's fine, because that's not your responsibility. You can only do what you can do on your level, and let God take over, because God needs to have his place.
Yeah. We
can't be everyone's superhero.
Yeah, you can't.
Because we also need to work on our own selves. Yeah. We also need to be better versions of ourselves, and that's something that I mentioned quite a while back, actually even recently, that you have to be a better version of you, and that starts with knowing who you are. In a secret place, when you're outside, as Esther was rightly saying, sometimes you can go out and all of a sudden anxiety kicks. Maybe you see another beautiful lady, and you're like, oh, she looks very nice, but how about me?
Yeah.
Or you see a couple and you're like, okay, God, I've been praying, I've been
fasting.
But it will come. All these things will come in time. Don't allow anxiety to push you off the edge where you rush, because a blessing rushed is not a blessing at all. You don't want to rush, because the world is rushing and the social media is rushing, and there's no substance, there's no value,
you don't want anything that's premature,
there's no influence. No, premature blessings is very, very, very dangerous. And even as I was saying in my book Completion, speaking prematurely is costly. In 2016 I applied for a job and I got the job. And I was so excited. I said, God, after 3 good years of you waiting and, of us waiting, Father, for you to give me a job, I finally got one. So the agency called me and they said, okay, we've got a job for you for 3 months, 3-month contract. I said, okay, that's great. Got the job. On the 5th day, guess what they said? They didn't need me anymore.
On the 5th day.
And what's so funny is that I remember God telling me that day, because when I got the acceptance, I was so excited to speak it out. And I was like, God, I'm going to put this status on Facebook. God said, no, Esther, don't do it. But I said, God, why? Like, everyone's rejoicing. Everyone is,
it's my moment.
It's my moment. He said, don't do it. I said, it's okay, God, come on. Let me enjoy small. When I put the status up, now I'm looking back on it, I now understand why God said, don't speak prematurely. Because that job wasn't meant to be for me. 5 days out of 3 months.
Wow.
That day I cried, Esther. And I said that was the last day I'll ever apply for a job via agency. But had I known, I would have listened first to God and said, you know what, Father, thank you for telling me. But as human beings, we want to pump it up. We want to feel good.
Yeah.
But that day I said, wow.
You want to be congratulated. I think that's the thing. Sometimes we're too focused on being congratulated that we don't even think that what we're trying to get congratulations for, is it really authentic?
Exactly.
Is it really equal to what I'm supposed to be, Of course. With that, just even like one thing that a lot of African kids, struggle with is, when will you marry? When will you marry? And it's like, there's all these things about, sometimes we're in a rush to be with people because we're lonely, but you should only be with someone, you should only want to be with someone when you're alone, not when you're lonely, because when you're lonely, you are in a dark place, and when you're in the dark, you can't see anything, you make rational decisions.
And not just that, and you know, even in addition to that, I would say, you know, when you do want to, we don't pursue, as women, we don't pursue. Personally, that's what I believe anyway. Yeah. But, you know, when we are in that position of, you know, receiving and expecting our partners to be, we need to be whole in ourselves first. You know, your husband can't find you if you're anxious. Your husband can't find you if you're scared, if you're comparing yourself to people. Your husband can't find you if you're worrying all the time. There's a lot of pressure. So when you are in that state, ask yourself, am I whole? Am I complete? You know, where is this anxiety coming from? Is it social media? Is it family? Is it aunties and uncles? Or is it me? And who has the power to control it? God gives us the strength that we need to control all our emotions.
That's it.
We can't expect people to help us. We can't expect people to, you know, answer us. We have to do the, like, take responsibility and take action of how we feel, you know. And
I agree. I agree. And you want, there's no better reward than knowing that you have completed this one struggle journey on you. Like, we're all meant to have companionship, don't get me wrong, but when you're going through something such as anxiety, no one else can help you get out of it.
Not at all.
Even when you go to therapy, they tell you have to do the work yourself. Only God can help you through that. And once he does, I'm telling you, it's an amazing feeling. And also it means that you don't owe a human being nothing.
You know, even in his word it says, owe no man nothing but love. You know, when you have love in your heart for people, that is enough. As in, you don't have to sell yourself, you don't have to make yourself feel vulnerable, or you don't have to feel low, because you know that love is the ultimate key. And once you've done your part, God will do the rest. I love that. Don't worry about what people think. Once you love them, you let go, you start living the purpose-filled life that God has called you to live, because we don't live anyhow. We have to live purposefully, you know, so that other people around us and beside us can see, yes, there's something about the Esthers of our generation, because we are the Esthers of our generation. We are. A lot of people need to hear what we're talking about, because anxiety is a real thing. It is a real thing. And why can't we come together and talk about this freely? And that's
because a lot of people, I don't want to put everyone in a box, but like I have a lot of people just don't know how to deal with it. They don't know how to receive that your friend is going through anxiety, because for them it's like, why can't you just choose to just be okay?
Exactly.
Like, and you also there has to be respect from both, and if people don't respect that this is what you're going through, then you have to find a way. Like, you can't be anxious and also be anxious about your friends not knowing how to deal with you being anxious. That's too much. That's way too much. So even for me, like, as much as like I love all my friends, I've noticed and I've observed and realised who doesn't know how to deal with it. It's not fair to them, neither is it fair to me.
Of course, I like that. And, you know, one thing I'm going to say is that even with like circle of friends and your influence, there are some people who are stronger than others. And when people aren't that strong, don't take advantage of that, because they are also trying to learn how to develop to be confident. I was someone before, quite a while back now, maybe 5-6 years ago, I was really vulnerable. I was really like shy. I couldn't confront. I always had anxiety, but now, shy because of God. I'm telling you, it takes strength to be, you know, a bold person. And as I keep saying, it's not coming from a place of pride. We just have to understand that when we do, and we will have moments where we will feel weak, you know. Sometimes when people see me, they say, Esther, you're strong. I'm telling you, I had to go through things to make me strong. I had to go through tears and pain and lonely seasons to be strong. And it's okay to be lonely at times, because even in the lonely seasons, sis, even though you feel anxious, you're also growing at the same time. You're also gaining strength. You're also knowing who you are. You're
learning about yourself and yourself, self-worth.
That's right.
And understanding that this is what you like, this is what you don't like. Like, you can't ask or accept companionship when you don't know who you are.
That's right.
Like, it's a facade. And at one point, you're both going to be sitting here like, I thought you were that too.
Exactly.
Or no, I'm not. And it's just,
expectations as well. Sometimes we don't want to expect too much, because even expectations can cause someone to be anxious. Okay, well, you know, he wants me to do this, he wants me to have the best job, or she wants me to do this, she wants me to get that first car. But all these things you're worrying about is for nothing. Okay, well, I must be earning £100,000 per calendar month. But what if you're only earning 3k? You know, at least you're getting something every month. You know, some people, they don't even earn that much.
They don't.
You know, so why are you being anxious about what other people say you should have, and you have only got what's in your hand? Always use what's in your hand, ladies and gentlemen.
That's it.
Don't feel anxious about what other people are doing, because what they are doing, you may not be able to handle it. You don't want to end up trying to copy someone's anointing or copy someone's purpose and you flop.
You can't try and copy someone else's anointing, because you have to walk through the same journey.
That's right.
And are you sure you're ready to walk through the same journey that they've been through?
This is it.
You see the glory, but you don't know the journey.
Exactly.
The journey must have taken, you know, like, God forbid, and for anyone out there, like, rape must have taken, you know, having family members being killed, must have been taken, you being physically abused. And are you sure you want to go through those? That's why it's always best to ask God to give you what is for you.
That's right.
Like, don't look at someone else and say, oh God, I want that. No, I want what is for me.
That's right.
And you should have an image and speak
positively.
The tongue.
Honestly, the power of life and death is actually in the tongue. The words we speak on a daily basis. And remember that what you think in your mind will eventually come out of your mouth. So really control your mind in order to control your mouth. Yeah. Because once you speak, that's it. You said it, and you can't take words back.
Yeah.
You know,
you can't. It's out there, and it's out there. But no, it's a journey, and in some way embrace it and thank God for it.
That's right.
Because like, God trusts you enough to know that you can handle this.
This is it.
And I like to think, some people might say, oh no, you're a little bit crazy, but no, like, God saw me worthy enough to know that I could go through these things that when I share with people what I've been through, they're like, that is crazy. And I'm like, I know that's crazy. But when you sit down, you look at it, you're like, God trusted that you are strong enough, because He knows that one day you're going to encounter someone who's going to need your testimony.
This is it.
Exactly. And that's like, we're all here to be used for God's glory.
This is it.
So
what is so funny about what Esther just said, me and my dear sister, we went out yesterday, and we were talking about identity. And sometimes, as you rightly said, sis, you know, when you go through things and, you know, they see that you've overcome it, they're like, whoa, how did Esther go through this and she's an overcomer? But if you're not willing to carry what she carried, please don't comment.
Don't.
It's really important that you respect one's struggle in order to see God's glory shining in their life.
That's it.
Not everybody's going to understand this, and it's a very, very deep topic. Don't allow what people think about you to you know, hide the anointing, hide the blessing. Another thing I was saying as well is that sometimes, you know, when God has blessed you with something, whether you've got a new car or, you know, you've got a new house or you're engaged, sometimes we feel so scared that we want to protect it and hide it. But what if there's someone out there who wants to be encouraged to know that if God has given this to me, that person's anxiety can actually stop, and they will be inspired. You've got what they want. Don't ever hide your blessings. And this is something that I'm learning as well. I don't post things to show off. When people say, Esther, well done, I just give all the glory to God, because to be where I am, it took a lot of strength.
And I think in one of your videos you mentioned transparency, and that's what it's about. Like, I'm also one where sometimes I'm like, am I oversharing? Am I overdoing it? But there's a reason, Balance. And you must always go with how the Spirit leads you. The Spirit tells you that, you know, if you feel that someone else can need this, do it, even if it's just one person.
Exactly. And not only that, don't be anxious about the amount of likes. Because the amount of likes does not equate to impact. You can have 50,000 followers and all I'm seeing is your beautiful face. But I'm not seeing the impact. I'm not seeing the influence. I'm not seeing people's hearts being changed. Someone can have only maybe 20 likes and they're really being inspired. You know, I always say this, that, you know, even Jesus himself, you know, even though he had 12 disciples, I believe he only had about 3 close, really close, intimate friends. It's not about the number, it's the people you choose. You have the choice to choose certain people in your life to enable you to go to the next level. Not everyone can come with you.
Not everyone.
And not everyone that you see having thousands and millions of likes may necessarily be making an impact.
Right. And what's the saying? Quality over quantity. Quality over quantity. Yeah.
You know, I remember when I was young, in secondary school, I would always have like my group of 6 girls. Yeah. And now it's like they've all gone their own way. I've gone, maybe some may even be abroad, I don't even know. But you know, when you always have that mentality of, my girls for life, my girls for life,
my girls, and then you realise that
the circle changes, and it's okay.
And people are there for a season.
Yes. Some for a reason, some for a season, and some for a lifetime. But very rare for a lifetime. Yeah. You know.
But no, like, embrace the journey.
Definitely.
But have an end goal. If you don't, then you're gonna allow yourself to stay in that moment and where you're just like, oh, this anxiety, I don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
Read more. Keep your mind busy.
That's
because the mind.
The mind is powerful.
It's so powerful. And you don't ever want it to put you in a place where you don't know how to come out of it. So read more. Only watch positive things that are funny.
That's right.
Don't watch anything that are sad. I went through a stage where I was watching romantic movies. I was crying all the time. Even if the ending is happy, I'm crying. So watch like comedy, watch, you know, motivational speaking, you know, preaching, and preaching about, you know, things that are, you know, that are kind of similar, that can give you, you know, some light at the end of the tunnel. Don't watch preaching that are gonna make you feel like, you know. So
don't question yourself. You know, even when you're listening to these things, don't think, because he said that, maybe I should have done this the other day. Don't look back. Keep looking forwards, because there's nothing behind you that is important. You know, today we will never get the 26th of May again in 2019. Once this date's done, that's it. Tomorrow's the 27th of May. And, you know, we keep moving forwards, we keep moving, and we keep being ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, be yourself, because you cannot be anyone else, and no one can be you. Everyone's fingerprints are different.
I remember when I was younger, the first time I heard, like, I realised that everyone's fingerprints is different.
What, did I make a mistake? That didn't.
Literally when you think of that, it's just like, God, he took time out. And even though sometimes you think, oh, I look like this person, I look like my mom, I look like my dad, just think of the time that it took God to make your fingerprints different. And these are just your fingers,
of course.
Now imagine what your mind, like, just physically what you could do. So
oh wow, Esther, thank you so much for coming on the channel. I honestly, this is one of my favorite topics, just because I know how it feels to be anxious, and because I've overcome it, I also want to just pour back into those who are currently going through it. And as Esther rightly said, when she goes through situations, she's going to look back and be able to inspire the other person that's going through it. So Esther, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you, honestly. Beautiful woman inside and out. I will also be listing all her details on my channel below as well, so please subscribe to her. Actually, we've got to you know, introduce what countries we're from. So obviously, I'm Nigerian.
I'm from Congo.
I love the culture mix. I would never actually think you're Congolese, you know.
Really?
Maybe like you're Nigerian, or I was like, you know.
But my people are gonna be like,
Someone actually thought I was Ghanaian, and I'm like, no. Really? If you want to see more videos like this, please thumbs up. And if you would love to see this beautiful woman on my channel again, please thumbs up. You know, the more support that we receive, the more we can actually give back out to you. So thank you so much in advance.
And also let us know if you've got any stories down below, like what you're going through, if you're going through anxiety, or if you've been through it, how you were able, because conversations help other people as well. So thank you guys. You are welcome, girl. See you in our next video. Take care. Bye.